The second weekend of the 98th Annual State Amateur Baseball Tournament is in full swing. We are live in Hamburg. It's the Rochester Royals taking on the three-time defending champs, the Chanhassen Red Birds, coming up next, live on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Amateur baseball is one of Minnesota's great sporting traditions. The state tournament brings together hundreds of communities in late summer at great ballparks all around the state. Coverage of every game can be found on PrepSpotlight.tv. PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of today's state tournament game is made possible by the Minnesota Baseball Association, and also with help from the Minnesota Twins. Celebrate Town Ball with the Twins on September 11th. Visit twinsbaseball.com/townball for details. Now let's get to the ballpark.
Hello everybody and welcome to Hamburg, home of the Hawks, and host once again to the State Amateur Baseball Tournament, the Class B Tournament. This is the final game of the second round, rained out last night and played this morning. The winner of this game will have to play later on this afternoon in the double elimination portion of the bracket. So it's winner go home here between Rochester and Chanhassen. We expect a good one. I am Eric Murphy on the call once again here in Hamburg. Brian Carlson with us on camera once again. And it's Chan trying to track down a fourth straight Class B title. And it's going to be a good one against Rochester here. Let's start out with the Royals out of the classic Cannon Valley. Last week, a 7-3 victory over Forest Lake. A complete performance for the Royals. 15 hits offensively, led by Jared Campbell's 3-for-4 day, including a triple and 2 runs scored. Matt Meyer dominant on the mound with 9 innings, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. The Royals' fourth state appearance since 2015. Before that, they went every year from 1990 to 2010. Except in 97, and they won the tournament twice. That was in 06 and back in 1991. For Chan, where do we start with the Redbirds, a modern-day dynasty in amateur baseball? The Redbirds looking to capture a 4th straight Class B title, coming off another impressive regular season, just suffering 2 losses in that campaign. Undefeated in region play. In round 1, they pounded their way by the Moorhead Mudcats, an 8-1 opening round victory in Chaska. The Birds 12 hits, 3 from Zach Huffman, including a home run and 4 RBI. John Straka, the horse on the mound, 2-time tournament MVP, 11 strikeouts and 9 innings of work in the opener. And Straka's on the hill here tonight, facing Rochester lineup featuring Mike Mahalik, then Jake Halverson, Matt Cano, Sam Warren, Jared Campbell, Drew Block, Alex Prindle, Alex Hollitz, and Nick Pearson. We are underway here on a beautiful day after the storms blow through. Time to play ball here in Hamburg. A great host once again to the tournament. As we search for our pen under the table, and we're ready to go. First pitch from Straka's high. A 1-0 count to Mahalik. And Mike, 2 hits in 4 at-bats, 2 runs scored, an RBI in Game 1 in that win over Forest Lake. The former Fighting Illini, Rochester Mayo grad. And these two teams feature a ton of talent. Both pitchers today, former professional pitchers, and high college players like Mahalik. And Mike is having a heck of a season as well, leading the way. Most of the players on Rochester are local guys, current former college players. A 1-2 count right now on Mahalik. Straka spins one in there, well, tries to anyway, a little bit high, 2-2 the count. Mike, a tall drink of water in the batter's box. And that one over his head, so a high pitch from Straka. He looks to once again settle in. One wrapped back up the middle, handled, and the throw to first. 1 up, 1 down as Brandon Arnold, player manager at short for Chan, handles that one easily.
Number 8 is Jake Halverson.
Got to bring up Jake Halverson. Jake batting from the second spot last week, 3 hits and 2 runs scored. So the top of the lineup getting it done for the Royals in that opening round victory over Forest Lake. Halverson, the shortstop for Rochester. lefty batter. Strike called, 1-1 the count. The noticeable absence from the lineup is Tate Miners, their top hitter in average, as that one is hit left side. Arnold's going to be able to track it down, tries to backhand it, knocks it down, no play. Should be an infield hit for Halverson.
Batting third for Rochester, designated hitter number 29.
Tate batted third last week. And again, the average leader for this Rochester lineup, not in here today. And stepping in the 3 spot is Matt Cano. Matt had a good game last week, 3 hits and 5 at-bats. Former Austin Greyhound digging in, another lefty to face Straka here. And he takes ball 1. I want a bit outside, 2-0. To mention this game, we actually never got started. They decided to call it off before the Storms hit. We did get 2 phenomenal games in yesterday. Well, Meesville with a 10-run victory over East Grand Forks, and then the Champlin Low Gators, another heart-stopping matchup that went 12 innings, and they were finally able to get by Victoria, walking them off. And then this game did not get in, moved to this morning. So again, winner moves on to the double elimination portion, and they'll have another game later today as Cano skies that one towards center field. Tracking and getting under it is Riley Johnson for out number 2.
Batting fourth for the Royals, the left fielder number 3, Sam Warren.
That'll bring up Sam Warren, so Warren moved up in the lineup as well. And it's you get Halverson, Cano, and Warren in a row here. Those two combining for 8 hits last week. Warren 2 for 4 with an RBI. So trying to package it together here and get them to the dish as many times as possible, as that part of the lineup produced last week. Strike 1 from Straka. So our games, the way they line up here for us in Hamburg, on PrepSpotlight.tv today, Meesville will take on the Newmarket Muskies. Newmarket, first time in Class B, and welcome to the party. 2 big wins as they have pounded their way into the double elimination portion of the bracket, the Final 4, if you will. And they'll take on Meesville, who's looked great, has only given up 2 runs to this point, as that one is skied to right. The wind is blowing in a bit, so it's going to land in foul territory, but how about that, tracking it all the way. And a great defensive play by Aaron Klepner from the second base position. He had to track that one a long way. And again, it's tricky with the wind here in Hamburg. Chanhassen handles it in through a half an inning. It's 0s on the board. Chan coming to bat when we come back.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Right field is Jared Campbell. The center fielder, Mike Mahalik. Left field is Sam Warren. At third base, Alex Hollitz. The shortstop is Jake Halverson. At second base, Nick Pearson. Drew Block at first base. Doing the catching, Alex Prindle. And on the mound, the veteran number 26 is Matt Meyer.
So John Straka makes it through the top of the first inning against Rochester. Now to be Matt Meyer's turn. We'll get to, well, let's start with Matt, actually. So Matt Meyer, what can you say? A Mayo grad, former Boston College pitcher, played in the Angels, Cardinals, Indians organization. A lefty kind of sidewinder. So he'll throw it up there, and he's a horse. He went all 9 innings last week and surrendered just the 2 earned runs. Only struck out 4, but again, a control pitcher and a horse. He'll stay out there and work the lineups. Matt also pitched for the Saints when they were an independent team, so a veteran out there on the mound. 2 veterans that'll just eat innings, and they're tough to really get anything going against, so expect a good pitchers duel here today. The lineup for Chen: Aaron Paff will lead things off, then player manager Brandon Arnold, then Michael Georgella, Zach Huffman, Ben Lavorsi, Riley Johnson, Justin Anderson, Aaron Klepner, and Justin Arnold. That is your Chan lineup. As Paff, the left fielder. New Almite, former Brewer, steps in. Aaron, nice opener last week against the Moorhead Mudcats. 3 for 4 with a run scored, an RBI, 2 doubles for Aaron. And Meyer does work quickly, 2-0 the count. Remember, Forest Lake actually took an early lead on Meyer and the Royals last week. They scored a run in the top of the first, as it took Meyer a minute to get settled in, and he's 3-0 on the leadoff batter for Chan. And Chanhassen going for a 4th consecutive Class B title. And you think of the talent in this bracket, programs that come through here. Unbelievable that they're in position to track down a 4th title. Played some tight games in the elimination portion of the bracket throughout that run, as Meyer has battled back now. Count is full. Three-two pitch inside. Paff will take his base. Aaron, one of 2 New Almites in the lineup.
The shortstop, number 1, player and coach.
Zach Huffman, the other. Talk more about Zach when he comes up, having a great year and had a great opener. As now it's Brandon Arnold, the player manager, Chanhassen native, former St. Cloud State star, stepping in. Brandon, 0 for 5, did score a run last week. Looks to bunt here, pulls it back, 1-0. Brandon, player coach the last 2 years. And by the way, big thanks to Denny Laufenberger, who's sitting up here in the press box with us here today on the PA, but helping put together storylines for us and stats. And Denny tells me this is the first all-time matchup between Chanhassen and Rochester. As it is, strike 1. 2-1 the count now on Arnold. Chan established in 2010. Brandon, the former Victoria player, came over to play for his hometown. Tries to bunt that one over, goes foul. 2-2 now, count is even. Check on Klepner, and a good play first base over there by Drew Block. That one came in a little bit high. Beautiful day in Hamburg. Expect the crowds to pick up, especially with Miesville and Newmarket coming up next. That grounder to short, throw to second, goes off the glove of the second baseman, Nick Pearson. So it'll be an E4. And it's 2-on with nobody out for Chan here in the bottom of the first inning.
Batting third for Chanhassen.
A would-be potential double play turns into 2-on. Not dissimilar to what we saw last week with Forest Lake. Getting traffic on the bases and making Meyer work out of it a bit here. Now it's Michael Georgella, third baseman for Jan. Another St. Cloud State connection. And he hammers that one to left. It's tracking toward the track, goes off the base of the wall. Arnold and Klepner are in step, and now caught up is Klepner. So Arnold was behind him and pushed him to this spot. So a run down, they'll just run him back to third and tag him out. How about that? And that was Arnold who apparently read that one well off the bat because he was right behind Klepner and pushed him past third base. And a good throw out there in left field from Sam Warren to get that one in quickly. Klepner had nowhere to go. And Rochester records its first out without giving up a run, so a huge play there. Add that to our interesting list of plays that we've seen in this tournament. We'll talk more throughout the day about yesterday's crazy game between Champlin and Victoria. Victoria, one of Chan's big rivals, battled hard against the Low Gators before falling in 12 innings, but a big opportunity here now for Zach Huffman. Zach, the big first baseman, New Ulm High School. Brother JT plays for the New Ulm Brewers, who I believe are playing today. As Zach spoils that one out, 0-2 the count, quickly to Zach. But have a game, Zach. How about this? Last week, 3 for 5, 4 RBI, including a home run. And when he's locked in, this Chan lineup that much more powerful. Batting in the 4 spot here. 0-2 the count quickly on Zach. Again, second and third, one out here for Chan. Meyer sidearms it up there. That one is spoiled into right field. It's going to drop. One run is in. Holding up at second was Gergelli. He wanted to make sure it dropped, so he'll scoot over to third. And Huffman with another RBI here. He'll take it single to right. Arnold in with the first run of the game. You've seen Chanhassen play. This is what they do. They are solid in all aspects. That is why make it through a regular season like they have the last couple years, nearly unblemished. And on pace here, at least so far, to defend that title once again. Ben Lavorsi, the lefty catcher, stepping in. Ben takes strike one from Meyer. First and third, one out, one in the inning. Ben last week, 2 hits and 3 at-bats, a double for him as well. 2-1 the count now as the pitch is inside. Varsi, Mankato State, played for the Kokomo Jackrabbits of the Northwoods League this summer as well. Good bat up there, fires that one high in the sky. It's in the infield, and Pearson, fighting the sun a bit, comes in and makes the grab. So big out there by Meyer. Out number 2 now, and Riley Johnson will come up, the center fielder. Riley out of Augustana. Did not play in the 2020 tournament, though. He was injured. Riley with a hit and an RBI and 3 at-bats last week. So Meyer continues to try to work out of this jam, minimizing the damage. 1-0 the count. And Chanhassen didn't lose a game in the tournament last year. Made their way through undefeated. Inside pitch, 2-0. But it did not come without some pretty tight games. Their largest margin of victory was just 2 runs, in fact, in that tournament last year. And we've already surpassed that with that 7-run victory last week against the Moorhead Mudcats. That one's skied toward left. It's going to be a tough play coming out from short, but able to make it is Jake Halverson. So Rochester avoids major damage, but the Redbirds do strike first, and they lead it 1-0 after 1. We are live in Hamburg.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
Back to live action here at Hawk Field in Hamburg. Gorgeous Sunday, almost noon, I guess, still morning. Again, this is a game that was moved to this morning. It's supposed to be last night, closing out the second round of the Class B bracket. Much anticipated matchup here. First ever battle between Rochester and Chanhassen, and Chan striking first in the first inning.
Fielder number 5 is Jared Campbell.
That was due to a base on ball, an error, and then the Michael Durgella double, which actually didn't score any runs. Zach Huffman with the RBI single to push the one run across here. And leading things off, Jared Campbell, and that one misplayed in right field. It's going to get near the track before it stops in the grass. Retreating and grabbing it, throwing it in is Justin Arnold. So Arnold read that one off the bat the wrong way, came in too far, and it was over his head. And they are going to give Campbell a hit on the play. So a double for Jared Campbell. And the second hit of the game again on John Straka as Drew Block, the first baseman, comes in. Rochester going to scramble right back into this one against Chanhassen ace John Straka. The bunt right at the dish just goes foul. Lavorsi grabs it after it bounces in the dirt, foul. Drew Block, no hits last week in 4 at-bats. You can hear the wind in our crowd mic. It's a little bit breezy. Wind, according to the flag, blowing in from right field. That's what we saw last week on our Saturday sessions. And it can be tricky out there. We saw that with Arnold already. This field, the wind does play a big factor. Block gets it down, Straka to first. Mission accomplished, moving Campbell to third base. One out in the inning. That'll bring up Alex Prindle.
Up batting 7th, the catcher, number 15, Alex Prindle.
Prindle doing the catching here today. Logan Moline did the catching last week. Logan not in the lineup here today. I believe he was written in last night. We did get lineup cards, by the way, before they decided to call the game. Again, we never actually started. We did get cards, so with people have their own things going on. So Moline is listed on the roster for the Royals. As that one's back up the middle, and Rochester ties it up. Prindle with the RBI single. A good baseball here by Rochester in the top of the second. They get the double, the sack bunt, and an RBI single from Prindle.
Number 7, Alex Hollins.
That'll bring up Alex Hollins. Good defensive player at third is Alex. He was 0 for 4 in week 1. Hollins swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Oh, 2. Straka forges ahead here. Going right after the number 8 hitter in Rochester's lineup. Oh, 2 pitch. Just a bit outside, 1-2. And that one is hit into left field for the single, so back-to-back singles now. And Rochester stringing it together against Straka. 4 hits now in the game.
The second baseman, number 25, Nick Pearson.
Nick Pearson, the second baseman, number 9 hitter, steps in. Nick did not make an appearance last week for Rochester. So his first state tournament action here in 2021. And he comes up swinging. Fouled back, 0-1 the count.
That's $1.
Again, Straka, two-time tournament MVP, in fact, the last 2 years. Out there battling against this Rochester lineup. That an excuse me swing. Straka jumps on it, goes to Arnold at second on the relay, is in time, and a double play to end the threat. So Straka gets out of it, but Rochester ties things up. 1-1 our score, live on PrepSpotlight.tv.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike three! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020
equipment store near you today and check out the full line of quality.
We will do the bottom of the second inning. Both aces touched up a bit here in the early frames. Rochester's pieced together 4 hits and a run. They tied things up in the top of the second inning. It was an RBI single from Alex Prindle. Nice double play started by John Straka to get out of the jam. And now it's Justin Anderson, the DH in the lineup for Chanhassen, stepping in against Matt Meyer. First pitch, fouled back. So last year, Anderson did not play due to COVID precautions. So back with the Birds this year. 1-1 the count at the outside pitch. Justin, by the way, tourney MVP back in 2018. So postseason experience a plus, and Chan has that in spades as that is fouled off again. So 1-2 now the count. Justin providing some big-time power from the 7 spot in the lineup. He can hit it. That one just out of his reach, but able to foul it off. Count remains 1-2. So again, when the wind is blowing in, so what we've learned here now in our many games that we've done here the last 2 weekends, it's going to be tough out there, anybody hitting it that way, but left field might be open for business. So Georgella hit one to the base of the wall last inning. Remember, you've got Zach Huffman in this lineup, and then Justin Anderson. Some major power if they can get into one. We've only seen, I think there might have been a home run Friday night. Did not do that game, but out of the 8 games last week and then the 2 games yesterday, just 1 home run, or 2 home runs rather, that were hit out of those 10 games. So Anderson worked the count back to even at 2-2. Meyer out of the stretch, comes over the top, chopped towards short, and that one took a low hop right under the glove of Halverson.
A bat boy for Chanhassen, Ian Unterseer.
So we've seen some bounces here. That was happening yesterday as well. That one got into the dirt and just hugged the dirt. So a single for Anderson to lead things off for Chan. On back-to-back innings, they get their leadoff guy on, and now it's Aaron Klepner, the second baseman. Their Chan veteran here. Aaron wants to try to bunt Anderson over. That one goes out of play. Big year for Aaron. Named the head basketball coach in his alma mater, Champlin Park. Remember doing games up there. That was that great program at Champlin, and Aaron being a part of that. He's been featured on the hard court on PrepSpotlight.tv. Just low, 1-1. but taking over a great program there. Right now is focus on trying to help the Birds through the tournament here. Good movement again for Myers. That one comes across. Klepner fouls it back. 1-2 now. Trying to hit the outside corner. It's low. 2-2 the count. Klepner did score a run last week in the victory over Moorhead. One-two pitch, fun off toward right, and it's going to hang up there. Campbell camps under it for the out.
For the Redbirds, batting ninth, number 9, and playing right field, Justin Arnold.
So it's now the Birds' right fielder and number 9 hitter Justin Arnold coming in. And it takes strike one on the outside corner from Meyer. So Justin, Brandon's younger brother, graduated from Chaska High School. Justin, you might remember, if you follow high school sports in the area, great football player. In fact, played football down in Mankato. And he's down 0-2 the count here to Matt Meyer. Matt trying to work around this leadoff single down to third. That's a fair ball. Good play over there by Hollitz. And an even better play by Block. But Terry Helgett, the umpire out there, says Arnold beat the throw. So now it's first and second with one out. Still waiting for a ruling on that call. It is indeed a hit. So we've seen a couple of these here already in just the opening innings. Calls right on that borderline call. That was a tough play by Hollitz. He got it out quickly, and then Block made a really nice play. He had to come across the bag with Arnold bearing down on him. But at the end of the day, an infield single, and 2 on and 1 out. Back to the top of the lineup in Aaron Paff. Mentioned Aaron, the former New Ulm Brewer, and did confirm the Brew Crew in New Ulm play tonight. Aaron knocks that one to the left side. It'll get on a play, 1-1 the count.
Return those foul balls to the concession stand. You'll get $1.
Aaron, the team leader in hits, 43 this year, 37 singles. Denny tells me he's a clutch hitter in a big spot here early in the game with a runner in scoring position, 1 out. 1-1 pitch from Meyer, and spins that one in there, 1-2. You can see Meyer, he doesn't crush you with velocity by any means. He's got a little bit different delivery. He's always around the plate, and he's got good movement. 1-2. And that one is reached out and knocked to left side. Remember, Paff walked back in the first inning. And then later forced out on that play at home. Swung on and missed. The strikeout from Meyer. And that'll bring up Brandon Arnold.
Next up,
Reached on an error.
Brandon Arnold.
So just to recap, that play was first and second. And Gergella hit one to the wall. Brandon read it well, but ran up to a little bit too close to Paff. Paff was then forced out because he had nowhere to go. Good throw back in from the outfield. And with Arnold right behind Paff, he had already reached third base, so Nowhere to go for Aaron. On one the count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. It's the inside corner, 0-2. Brandon looking back, asking about the pitch. Oh-2 pitch from Meyer, swung on and he hangs. Brandon also an assistant baseball coach for Chaska. Teaches in the Jordan School District. We, of course, have a good relationship with the folks over in Jordan. Great district over there. Oh, 2 pitch again. Trying to hit that outside corner, but too far out. 1-2 now. One-two pitch, hammered towards short and into left field. And they're going to send the runner. Throw comes in, it'll be cut off. Redbirds regain the lead, 2-1. Good giddy up there from Justin Anderson to score from second. And Arnold coming through in the clutch. Something new for Brandon. Rips that single into left.
The Redbirds, third baseman Michael Jurgella.
And now it's Jurgella's turn. And Jurgella, hardest hit ball here today. He hammered that ball to left field his first time up off the base of the wall. A would-be RBI double. But again, Paff picked off between home and third. But still an opportunity here as he hits it hard to center field. Mahalik on his horse getting back, now finding it and getting under it for the outs. Another hard hit ball, this time a loud out number 3. But the Birds strike again and they retake the lead 2-1 after 2 in Hamburg.
One run on 3. Top of the third inning here in Hamburg Hawk Field. Leading off for the Rochester
Top 3
Royals.
moving quickly here. Our first matchup, again, the elimination game here. Winner moves on to play later this afternoon against the Champlin Lowgators. And we turn over the lineup now for Rochester. Mike Mahalik, who grounded to short his first time up. And Mike, the catalyst in this lineup. Good hitter. And they want to get him as many bats as possible as he hits that one to the gap. And the diving play in left field. It's down. Mahalik trying to get to second, throw is in, head first slide, throw is offline, so it'll be a double to start things off here in the third for Mahalik. Great effort out there in left field. Paff dives, and it did not get past him, which you thought would allow Mahalik to take the base, but as soon as it hit the turf, Mike was running, forcing the action, and the 5th hit already now for Rochester here. Both teams actually with 5 hits. And they're piecing it together here against these staff aces. Straka now trying to deal with Jake Halverson, who singled in the first inning. Jake's bunt attempt back toward the grandstand, 0-1. Shows bunt again. This time it's high, 1-1 the count. Pulls back again, 2-1. Same formula we saw Rochester piece together a run last inning after the Jared Campbell leadoff double. It was Drew Block bunting him over. Now Halverson trying to do the same here with Mahalik on second. And this one goes foul, so now it's a 2-2 count. Halverson showing a bit of frustration at the dish. Straka not really making it easy on him. So we'll see what they call here on a 2-2 count. And wind blowing in at Hawk Field from right field. Inside pitch, fought off towards short. Arnold charges, throws on the run. Good play. But they accomplish what they were trying to do, and that was move Mahalik to third. So Mike moves over.
Now at the plate for the Royals, designated hitter Matt Cano.
For Halverson, goes as a ground out to short. And Matt Cano now steps in. Matt flew out to center field his last time up. Mentioned he had a really nice opener last week. Good solid bat and a golden opportunity here to even things up for Rochester. Just one out. Mahalik on third after the leadoff double. Moved over on the ground out from Halverson. And pitch comes across, ball one. So Rochester tournament mainstay. They've won a couple titles, as we mentioned. They've never taken on Chanhassen in this recent dynasty, as that one is lined up the middle, but it hangs up there enough for Arnold to chase it down. And a big out for Straka, now 2 outs, and it'll be up to Sam Warren. The line drive, not quite enough. Didn't really barrel that one up. And Warren flew out to second. Actually was a fly out to right field, not a play, and a really nice play by Klepner, chasing that one down from his second base position. Mentioned this part of the lineup, huge against Forest Lake. Warren with those 2 hits and an RBI. Couldn't hold up, 0-1 the count. Crowd still trickling in here. Obviously just a beautiful day to be outside and watch some baseball. So again, they're expecting decent crowds here today as he tries to hold up here again, and this time he does. I'm going to check with Terry. He says no. So it's a 1-1 count. Warren being aggressive at the plate. He's down in the count, however, 1-2. nice pitch from Straka. Took a little bit off. Swinging and missing is Warren. And Straka gets out of the jam to 2.5. Chan holding down the 2-1 lead.
2-1, Chanhassen.
Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment.
We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
As John Straka gets the big strikeout of Sam Warren. And now the Redbirds will come to the plate. And the heart of the lineup coming up. Zach Huffman set to lead it off. Zach with an RBI single in the first inning. Mentioned Zach with a big home run last week.
Follow your nose to the grill and get yourself one of those cheeseburgers. Leading off the home half of the third inning for Chanhassen, first baseman Zach Hoffman.
Zach coaching young players at Miller's Pitch to Pitch. Also an assistant at Chaska. And he first pitch swinging right back to Meyer on the mound. Meyer handles it easily for out number 1. We know that I'm reading how Zach hit that home run in Chaska last week. The opening victory over Moorhead. And some of the kids that he coaches were on hand. So a great moment for everybody there. Great support, and Zach mentioned he's getting some swings in, so he's loose and ready to go. As Ben Lavorsi will now step in. Ben flew out his first time up. Outside pitch fouled off. That one's going to push way out of play. 0-2 quickly on Lavorsi. Oh-2 pitch. Foul to the right side. Again, 0-2, way outside this time. The wind picking up a bit here in Hamburg. Time called by Lavorsi at the plate. Mentioned the 2 losses for Chan. Lost to the Tri-City Sharks. And the Victoria Vics beat them this year 2-1. That was it, as it's strike 3. Lavorsi down swinging.
Next up for
Riley Johnson will come to the plate. Riley flew out his first time up. 2 Ks on the day now for Meyer. Again, Meyer not a huge strikeout pitcher by any means. He tries to keep the lineup off balance as much as possible. And we're not sure exactly what Rochester has after Meyer, by the way, as we have not seen anyone else pitch in the state tournament yet. Chan threw Straka just 7 innings in that victory last week. Of course, have the great bullpen, Logan Spitzak and Miles Nablo. Clean things up against Moorhead. 1-1 pitch to right field. A lot of action that way so far for Jared Campbell, and he handles another one So 1, 2, 3 inning for Meyer. And after 3, Chan still up 2-1.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Through 3 innings in Hamburg in our opening game here on Sunday, which is the final game of the second round of the Class B bracket, has so far played to the script we expected. And that is a close ball game here. 2-1, Chan leads it, each team with 5 hits. And 2 aces on the mound. By no means dominant, but flat out getting it done per usual. Jared Campbell will lead things off. Now Jared doubled and later scored back in the second inning. Comes up swinging here, fouls it back, 0-1 the count.
That's $1.
Mentioned Chan, one of their 2 losses this year to rival Victoria. And the Vics, one of the strangest games, probably the strangest game that we're going to see in this bracket yesterday, in that 12-inning loss to Champlin Park. As that curveball ripped to Arnold at short, he's up with it, throw over to Huffman, and 1 quick out here for Straka.
Next up for the Royals, first baseman Drew Block.
Now Drew Block comes to the plate. Drew sacrifice bunt his first time up, and drew 0 for 4 last week. Both these pitchers around the plate, so guys coming up swinging on first pitch. Drops that one in for strike 2. Good pitch from Straka. Block down in the count, 0-2. That one fisted towards second. Klepner takes kind of an odd bounce on the lip. Hangs with it, gets the throw over quickly, and 2 outs. Alex Prindle. Mentioned Alex not in the lineup last week, but making his presence felt here early in this one. The RBI single knocking in Campbell back in the second inning. Ball 1 from Straka. One and 1 the count. So again, winner into the double limb portion. And we'll take on Champlin after that wild game, the Low Gators. A little bit of celebration as they break through into that third round finally. That team been knocking on the door for some time, including a couple years ago, lost just 1-0 to this Chanhassen team back in the first round. You remember Champlin beat Hampton 1-0 in the first round here, so they've gotten by with a pair of one-run victories. And that one hit toward second, easily handled over there by Klepner, and a 1-2-3 inning for Straka. Still 2-1, Chan in front.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
Our view here in Hamburg. Once again, thank the staff here at Hawk Field, making us feel so welcome here in PrepSpotlight.tv. We have been camped out in our spot in the bird's nest. Enjoyed some great baseball last week. Dealt with some major weather. Had give it up for the grounds crew here as well in Hamburg. They've kept this field in tremendous shape. Last week, obviously, tons of water last night. This game was originally scheduled for last night. Both teams were here. We actually had the lineups. And they decided to call it prior to the storms moving in. Good call. We did not need another long night staying till midnight, especially the winner of this game having to move on and play later on this afternoon. So everybody got to go home, stay fresh. Both Meyer and Straka warmed up last night. We're both ready to go. Two veterans can handle that situation. And they come back here and they're dueling here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2-1, Chan leads it. Justin Arnold, the DH. He singled and scored in the second inning. Arnold with that good hustle scoring from second base, by the way. 1-1 count on Justin. To the right side, and he's on again. So Anderson is on with two singles, 2 for 2 of the day. And another leadoff single for Chan. That'll be up to Aaron Klepner. Flew out to right his first time up. Trying to move Anderson over here. Foul ball. Mentioned the Birds had 12 hits last week. Mentioned Straka in our pregame that he went to the complete game, and that's because I wrote down that he actually pitched 11 innings. He had 11 strikeouts, only pitched 7 innings. So complete game for Chanhassen in round 1. And it's now 0-2 quickly on Klepner. As they battle this tough Rochester Royals team. Rochester excited for this opportunity here. Play against a 3-time defending champs. 0-2 pitch. Reaches out, and it's strike 3. So 3 pitches and 1 out. As Klepner heads back to the dugout. And Justin Arnold will now come up. I'll do my best to keep the Aarons and the Justin straight here in the lineup. And Arnold, that single back in the second inning. Chan piling up some hits, 6 hits so far. That one to second, could be 2. Played a short, relay throw in time, and a double play. It's Rochester out of the inning through 4. 2-1, Chan in the lead. Roch coming back up when we come back.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike three! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
John Straka staying loose on the mound. He moves into the 5th inning. It's Rochester, 2-1 lead for Chanhassen. And last inning, Chan leadoff single by Justin Anderson. But the threat erased on the 4-6-3 double play. Started by Nick Pearson to Jake Halverson. On the relay over to Block. And Straka will face the bottom of the lineup, Alex Hullitz, then it'll be Pearson. We'll roll it back over. The 3-hitter due up in the inning is leadoff man Mike Mahalik. Obviously with Mike and his ability, Roch would like to get a couple guys on here in front of him. As Straka goes to work, swung on and missed, 0-1. Close pitch, just misses, 1-1 the count. 16 of the 25-man roster for the Red Birds, Chanhassen, Chaska, Minnetonka, as Halverson rips that one into right, and it gets down. Reading that one out there, Justin Arnold stays in front of it, but a leadoff single from Hollitz.
Second baseman Nick Pearson.
As we mentioned, the way the lineup could shake out here in this inning for Rochester, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Royals. We'll see if they stick to the script that we've seen here so far and have the number 9 hitter, Nick Pearson, try to bunt Halverson over, or Hollitz over. That is the intent. Pulls back, though. 1-0 the count. Swinging away here, and it gets into right field. Back-to-back singles as Hollitz will check in at second and stay there. The bottom of the lineup producing here for Rochester. And now it turns back over to the top hitter, and that's Mike Mahalik. He's got a double. Grounded out in the first inning, doubled in the third. So Rochester feeling good at the moment about their situation. Rochester in those royal blue unis. We did a quick uniform bracket, by the way, yesterday. Just for fun up here in the press box. Brian and I put Rochester in the final, if you're wondering. Blue tops. When they're home, they wear the white pants. Today, the road grays. A big opportunity here. Down 2-1. First and second, nobody out. And top hitter Mike Mahalik at the dish. The tall righty digs in. Straka out of the stretch. First pitch in there for a strike. That uni bracket, we had Meesville, by the way, Mud Hen fans, winning that bracket over Rochester. Swung on and missed, so it's 0-2. Straka gets ahead quickly here on Mahalik. Let's see, a pressure situation. Mike stepping out of the box, taking his time. Big spot here. 0-2 pitch coming from Straka. That one knocked to left field, and Paff is out there underneath it. A harmless fly ball to left and one out. Big out for Straka as he now faces Halverson, the shortstop.
Now at the plate.
And Jake 1 for 2 on the day.
Halverson.
Movement in the Chanhassen bullpen. Strike 1 to Halverson. Rochester, 7 hits on Straka here. So far, just 1 run. Another big spot here, though, as Halverson takes strike 2. So Straka jumping ahead of both Mahalik and now Halverson. And leveraging the situation in his favor. 0-2 pitch coming. That one wrapped back up the middle. Arnold at second to Klepner on the relay, and it's in time. The double play erases the threat once again. Straka works his way out of it. Chan preserving the 2-1 lead.
For Rochester, no runs on 2 hits. There was just 1 left on base. On to the bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1. Chanhassen still leads.
Hey folks, time is winding down to be a part of the 2021 State Amateur Baseball Tournament in Waconia, Chaska, and right here in Hamburg. Get out and support your community, or if you just love the game of baseball and want to watch win or go home games at fantastic venues, there is nothing like tournament time. If you can't make it to the games, prepspotlight.tv/townball has all the games at affordable prices. Enjoy the tournament at the park or with us right here on prepspotlight.tv. We're in the 5th inning, moving to the bottom of the frame. Rochester mounting a threat against Chanhassen ace John Straka, but Straka gets Jake Halverson to roll into the 6-4-3 double play. Ending yet another threat. Rochester out hitting Chanhassen 7-6 in this game. And if you're familiar with Chan, you've seen them during this the 3-peat run, going for the 4-peat. Unbelievable, but this is what they do. They're solid from top to bottom. They're unfazed by close games.
Go to ridgeviewmedical.org.
They forged ahead with a run in the 1st inning and then a run in the 2nd. Trying to hold off the Royals. The bottom of the 5th, the lineup turns over to the top, and that is Aaron Paff, the left fielder, leading things off. He walked and struck out so far. Matt Myers, staff ace for Rochester, back out. Paff thinking dropping it down the 3rd baseline. Hollitz was charging hard. I mean, he missed it anyway. 0-1 the count. And now a stoppage of play here as Matt Meyer, the ace, is maybe not feeling 100% out there. He's kind of looking at his leg. This would be a huge turn of events for Rochester. They're quickly getting a body moving to the bullpen. It's Mitch Brown, who's a really good relief pitcher, but Mitch is headed to that bullpen to try to get warmed up here. Matt Meyer, something not right after that last pitch. There's word here in the press box that might have been something in warm-ups that somebody saw. So it was a medical visit to the mound, and Meyer says he's okay. So 0-1 the count to reset it here to Paff. And make that 0-2s. He sidearms that one in. See the Hens filing in here for Meesville. Again, they're our next game. The top half of the bracket now in the double elimination portion, as they will get set, take on the Newmarket Muskies crashing the party in Class B. They pounded their way into the Final Four. 1-2 count here to Paff. And just outside, 2-2. Prindle ready to throw that one down to third. 2-2 pitch now to Paff. And strike three called on an outside pitch. And that'll get the crowd chirping a bit here. We had plenty of action around the umping yesterday. Brandon Arnold, the player manager, he's going to come up, have a little chat with the home plate umpire. As the manager, obviously, probably feels a little more inclined to come up and have that chat. He was on deck, had a pretty good view there. But I think we'll just chalk that up as a makeup call on the previous pitch. And it's strike one to Arnold. So you come up and talk, and then you have to bat. And the umpire is not going to side maybe with you on a close pitch. And now Arnold tries to check his swing and can't, so he's a little out of sorts, 0-2 quickly. So again, our first controversy, if you will, in this contest. And that is swung on and driven to the right side. And really, if you're Chanhassen and you think about it, the previous pitch by Meyer, I mean, it was really, really close. That was the strike call, probably. And then the actual, in the book, strike call, maybe a bit outside, as he swings and misses. So Arnold down on strikes. So Meyer, after the medical visit, and you can see he's still trying to work something out there.
Next up for the Red Birds,
he is limping hard.
Jella.
I think Meyer's just going to try to gut this thing out. Now the bullpen for Rochester, they had Mitch Brown up, but he has since sit down. But Meyer is definitely struggling a bit out there. Now he faces Michael Jurgella. Michael ripped one to the wall in the first inning. Ended up on second with a double. He's down 0-1 the count, so Meyer's throwing strikes here. How much does he have left as far as the physical portion is concerned? Looks a little uncomfortable when he walks around in between batters. 1-1 the count. Jurgella golfs that one to left side. It'll get out of play.
That's $1.
Near the warehouse out there left. Just a beautiful setting here in Hamburg. This field established in 1948. Tree-lined setting. We've got fields around us as you would expect out here in God's country. 1-2 the count on Jurgella. He hangs as he, speaking of fields, fires that one off to the soybeans. So still 1-2. They're trying to gut this one out. That one grounded to Hollitz at third, but foul. So the way the bracket shapes up, as Prindle's going to come out and talk things over with Meyer. Maybe you talk some signage, try to figure out what we want to do here with the two-strike count. So the winners later today will be back here Friday night in Hamburg. The losers drop to the losers bracket. That'll be Saturday in Waconia. And then the winner here next Friday moves to the championship game on Chaska on Sunday. Whoa, as that one is fired into the dugout. Wow, Jurgella. Wow, people pay attention over there. Thumbs up and a smile from the Rochester coach over there. That was a bullet. If you weren't awake, weren't shaking off the cobwebs yet, you're awake now. High noon in Hamburg. Ball's coming at you in the dugout. Again, the 1-2 pitch. Again, it's fouled away. Again, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Meyer guts it out, and he strikes out the side.
3 strikeouts.
Through 5, Chan clinging to the 2-1 lead in Hamburg.
Still 2-1, Chanhassen leads.
We're going to leave you with the highlights of the Class A state tournament. Enjoy that. We'll be back with the 6th inning live on PrepSpotlight.tv or right after this.
Free catcher slaps one in the air to left, carrying deep. Fleming to the fence, to the wall, gone! A 3-run home run for Pierce. And that ball just kept carrying and carrying over the fence. And Air Freight's opened it up here in the 5th. And this one hit high and deep to left. This one way out of here. 6-0 Air Freight. A bomb by Cummings. Since then, a couple of groundouts to third. He hammers one high in the air to center field. Scallon back, has it measured. That's it! Air Freight Unlimited, your Class A state champions. They win their 21st game of the year. They dominate the championship game.
Matt Cano grounding out to start things off here in the top of the 6th inning for Rochester. Sam Warren struck out his last time up, 0 for 2 on the day. Take strike 1 from Straka. That one falling off the plate, 0-2. So far, the Warren strikeout, the only strikeout from Straka so far in this contest. But he's battled through, surrendering 7 hits, a couple timely double plays, keeping Rochester to that 1 run. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He strikes out Warren again. And 2 quick outs for John. Last inning we saw ace Matt Meyer for Rochester struggling a bit. They actually had to have a medical conference at the mound, but he stayed in and actually struck out the side. So the veterans, these aces on the staffs, settling in here in the middle innings. Jared Campbell up. Jared doubled and scored back in the 2nd. Hits that one to center. Tracking and under it. Riley Johnson. Easy 1-2-3 inning for Straka. We cruise along with Chan still up 2-1 here in Hamburg.
Top of the sixth. That half inning brought to you by.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Chanhassen coming to the plate here in the bottom of the sixth inning, holding on a 2-1 lead over Rochester. The Royals ace Matt Meyer, the lefty, back out there again. I mentioned it, not 100%, as they had to have a medical visit to him last inning. It looked like some kind of a lower body situation, perhaps a strain somewhere.
Don't forget, fans, we got 2 more games scheduled.
We, of course, just speculate up here. But he certainly is limping a bit as he walks off the mound. Something to keep an eye on. And at one point, well, during the medical timeout, they did have the bullpen up for Rochester. Things quiet over there now, as Zach Huffman will dig in. 3-hitter, or number 4 hitter in the lineup. He singled back in the first inning, an RBI single. Zach now with 5 RBI in the tournament. 4 coming last week when he blasted a home run. Zach not appreciating that call. He's going to step off and collect himself. So as we see these games, the strike zone starts to open up here as we move toward the later innings. And the tension gets high as Hoffman now calls time. Zach, part of that St. Cloud State connection. Brandon Arnold. Gets that one to the right side. Will it stay in play? Block is over and makes it. So an F3 and 1 out for Ben Lavorsi.
Chanhassen, Ben Lavorsi.
And we now have officially a bench warning on Chanhassen. So this is where we've moved here, is, again, tense moments in the state tournament. But some of the calls the last inning got Chanhassen's attention. And a little chirping from the bench. They receive a warning. Strike 1, swinging and missing, is Lavorsi. Ben flew out back in the first, struck out in the third. They're really tough on these left-handed hitters. That one's wrapped towards second. Pearson over, up with it. Throw to block, and 2 quick outs. Well, the 2 aces just cruising right now. Riley Johnson comes up. He's flown out twice.
Now at the plate for Chanhassen,
Let's give you a kind of a quick recap here, since it's been a while since we've changed the score. Bottom of the first, it was the Huffman RBI single. That inning, by the way, so Meyer in back-to-back games dealing with, I don't know if you'd call it slow starts, but dealing with traffic on the base pass. That inning featured a walk, an error, 2 hits, 1 run for Chan. In the top of the second, back came Rochester. Jared Campbell's double, then scored on the Alex Prindle RBI single. As it's a 1-0 count, by the way, to Johnson. Now 2-0. And at the bottom of the second, Brandon Arnold, RBI single. So it was 2-1 after 2. And that is where we still sit. In the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs, 2-0 count to Riley Johnson. 2-1 now. Seven hits on the board for Rochester, 6 for Chanhassen. And pitch taken for a ball, 3-1 the count. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Johnson is on with the walk. And Justin Anderson, the designated hitter, up. Justin with a single later scored back in the second inning. Mentioned Anderson with a ton of power. He loaded up there, fouled it to the right side. And postseason success in his career, the tourney MVP, as we mentioned, back in 2018. Made an impact already in this game, and trying to do so with 2 outs and a runner on first, 0-1 count. Meyer checks on the runner. Runner goes. Throw down is not in time. In fact, Alverson knocks it down before it gets into center field. So Riley Johnson with the stolen base. Now a runner in scoring position. An 0-2 count. It was called a strike. Swung on and missed. So Meyer gets out of it again with another strikeout. And he keeps Rochester right in this thing within striking distance. We're through 6. Still 2-1. Chan leads it live from Hamburg. We're now going to leave you with highlights from earlier this weekend in the Class B and C bracket. Enjoy. We'll be back with live action right after this.
See what comes up with. A bunt. And it'll be a run score. The squeeze works.
He was just angry at the home plate umpire. First pitch swinging, line drive, base hit into center field. The throw is going to be cut off by Nelson. 2 runs are going to come in.
Damas, and he singles past the drawn in Jelly at short. They're going to send in Vanderbosch from second as well.
Larson Geislinger, base hit down the right field line. That's going to get towards the corner. Geislinger is around first and slides into second with a 2 RBI double.
Into the 3rd round of the tournament. First pitch. It's high towards second. The infield was drawn in. Will it drop? It does. The throw home. It'll be a force if they can get it. They can't. Riola scores and Champlin moves on to round 3. We are deep into this ball game. Still the 2nd round of the Class B bracket. Winner moves on to afternoon action. Loser season is over. And as expected, it's a good one. 2-1 our score. Rochester coming to the dish against John Straka. Looking at Twitter here, we have a 5-1 lead in the Class C bracket. Watertown over Avon right now. We'll try to grab a couple more scores off Twitter for you. 3 minutes ago, it looks like Ada took a 6-1 lead over Luxembourg, that game in the 6th inning. And leading things off, Drew Block for us here in the top of the 7th. Drew with a sac bunt in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th. Straka with a good inning last inning, but greeted with a single to lead things off now for Rochester as Block is on. Straka has been able to work out of jams. Got the big double play that he, on the ground ball, I should say, back in the 5th inning. The double play back in the 2nd inning started by Straka. So Chan has been able to keep it tight defensively. And Straka has surrendered 8 hits, and now we're going to have action again in the bullpen for Chanhassen. Nobody out and a runner on. And it's Alex Prindle. RBI single earlier in this game. Shows bunt, pulls back 1-0. And he gets it down. Lavorsi watches it go foul. Ben, the veteran catcher, saw that one moving foul. We've seen some crazy bounces in this tournament, particularly yesterday. It's a little bit tricky right now in the infield, too, the last couple days. But good read that time by Lavorsi. Waits for it to go foul. 1-1 the count. See if Prindle sticks with the script here. He does. And it's fouled back now, 1-2. Straka making life difficult for these Rochester batters as they try to bunt the runner over. The wily veteran Straka. One-two count now to Prindle. Swung on and missed. I think these two pitchers here today, and I mean, this is exactly what we expected with these two former pro pitchers, veterans out there. They're actually getting stronger, it seems, as we move on. That is 2 strikeouts in the last 2 innings for Straka. He's reared back and blew away Prindle there. Now it's Alex Hollitz, third baseman, single twice in this game. So Alex producing from the bottom of that lineup. Takes strike 1 from Straka. It's been a pest here for Straka so far in this game, and up in a big spot. A 1 out, 1 on. Rochester trying to put something together here against the 3-time defending champs. 1-1 the count. Swung out and missed, 1-2. One-two pitch is outside, 2-2. Time called at the plate. Hollitz hangs, 2-2. Again, the 2-2 pitch, strike 3 called. As that hits the outside corner, Hollitz walks back to the dugout, throws the bat to the next batter, that is Nick Pearson. So back-to-back Ks after the opening single here in the top of the 7th, and now it's Nick Pearson with 2 outs. Straka battling through into the 7th inning. Pitched 7 innings last week's victory over Moorhead. And laying down a beautiful bunt is Pearson. He took a look at the defense and lays down a beauty. Giorgella playing way back No chance there, and that'll lead to a pinch runner at second. Coming in for Rochester, looks like Brevin Getz.
Running at second base, number 4, Brevin Getz. And the batter, Mike Mahalik.
So Brevin Getz pinch running for Drew Block at second. How about that bunt single from Nick Pearson? So 2 on and 2 out. And that brings up Mahalik in another big spot here. Bottom of the lineup has done a great job in getting on in front of Mike. He wants to try to cash in here for Rochester. First and second, 2 outs. Mahalik digging in. Takes strike 1. Check swing, so it's a call. Again, strike zone's open a bit here now. Mahalik came up last time in a big situation with runners on first and second. He ended up flying out to left field, came up aggressive there. So trying to solve Straka. Doubled off him earlier in this game. Again, the best hitter in Rochester's lineup. Swung on and missed. He's down 0-2. So again, Straka jumping ahead of Mahalik. That double for Mike came back. That was a leadoff double back in the third. Ended up getting stranded on third. Big opportunity. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Straka battles back and gets out of the jam again, striking out Rochester's best hitter. It's still 2-1. Chanhassen holding down the lead here in Hamburg.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
Also for the Royals.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Chanhassen holding on to that 2-1 lead. What a job by John Straka. We'll see if that's it for Big John, but 3 strikeouts in the 7th inning, including striking out Mike Mahalik. Again, the best hitter in this Rochester lineup came up in a good big situation with 2 on, just like he did back in the 5th inning. Both times Straka able to get out of the jam. And now Chan would like to pad the lead a little bit here, heading into the late innings, bottom 7. This is Aaron Klepner leading things off. Aaron, a strikeout and a flyout, playing his usual stellar defense basketball star, now head coach, Champlin High School. 0-2 count as Myers out for another inning of work for Rochester. He has kept Chan off the board since the second inning, surrendering 6 hits so far. Myers struck out 4 of the last 7 batters in the lineup for Chanhassen, so he is seemingly getting stronger despite dealing with some sort of an apparent discomfort. I'm going to call it a full-blown injury at this point. That 1-2 count on Klepner, and he hangs. Stellar job by Meyer. And again, he's the only pitcher we've seen for Rochester. He went all 9 innings in the win over Forest Lake last week. And obviously you have to win to move on, but Rochester somehow were to rally here and knock out the champions. They would need another arm to go at 4 o'clock today. That's also probably on the mind of player manager Brandon Arnold for Chanhassen. So he has to manage that pitching staff for another tough game later on this afternoon. The difference is you lose here, you go home. You get into the next round, it's double elimination. A little more pressure packed here. Still 1-2 the count. Delivery from Meyer, just a bit outside, 2-2. And I do not keep pitch counts with everything else going on during the game, but Meyer obviously not fazed by high pitch counts, as that's to Halverson at short, strong throw over to block. 1 out. And we've got a pinch hitter.
Now batting for Chanhassen, number 44, Andrew Mulkey.
Andrew Mulkey, the pinch hitter. Pinch hitting for Justin Arnold in the 9 spot here. Let's see what Denny gave us here on Andrew. So a young player here, 2020 Chan High School graduate, now playing at St. John's. So getting an at-bat here, wraps the first pitch he sees to Hollitz at third. Hollitz up with it, throws over, and 2 quick outs here for Meyer. So he just continues to cruise through this lineup. Turn things back over to Aaron Paff.
Now at the plate for Chanhassen, Aaron Paff.
Aaron, the leadoff hitter, has struck out twice. Walked back in the first inning. Again, Meyer, the lefty with that sidearm delivery. He's tough on left-handed hitters. Paff takes strike 1. And Paff, the leader in hits on this team, as that one goes right back to Meyer off of his glove. He recovers, throw to first. Another 1-2-3 inning for the big lefty through 7. It's still 2-1 Chanhassen.
Through 7, Chanhassen.
The town ball tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment. We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
Rochester running out of outs now in the 8th inning. Down 2-1, trying to solve John Straku, saying loose sat on there on the mound. He's got this whole routine. He goes out there, keeps the arm moving. He's also got some fans over there he's been waving to. That's what it's all about. There he is, waving again. Gives a little kiss, presumably to his family over there. John keeping things in perspective here, as we all should. Great game of baseball played at a high level here. Amateur baseball in Minnesota. Really is a great tradition. 98th tournament here. And Chan already in the record books with 3 straight Class B titles, going for the unprecedented 4th straight Class B title. Just a dynasty. And Straka right at the center of it. He's made it through 7. Rochester's dinged him for 9 hits. But Straka's been able to work his way out of it. 3 Ks last inning. Mixed in a couple singles. But how about that for getting stronger as the game moves on? Jake Halverson will lead things off for Rochester. Followed by Matt Cano and Sam Warren. Halverson singled back in the first. Grounded out, then hit into a double play. Straka, 7 innings in that Game 1 victory over Moorhead. On the year, 61 innings pitched, coming in 12 starts, 8-0. ERA below 1, just unbelievable. And I'm not going to say he's untouchable, but he is crafty. The Bulldog out there, 2-1 count on Halverson. Check swing, they're going to check. And it is a strike. Terry Helgett says he went. He's going to hear it now from Halverson, who barks a little bit at Helgett down there. So 2-2 the count. Outside pitch, ring him up, strike 3. Last 4 batters now retired by the strikeout for Straka, with catching fire here in the late innings. And it's 5 out of the last 6. He's retired with the strikeout. Now it's Matt Cano coming to the dish. He has flown out twice, grounded out once. Matt with that 3-hit opening game victory in the opening game victory over Forest Lake. And he fires that one near the one of the entrances over there. Luckily, everybody sees it coming. 0-1 the count, 1 out here, top of the 8th inning. It's getting late for Rochester. He scored back in the top of the 2nd. They have not been able to get anything across since. That one spins in there, 1-1 the count. Now the crowd's starting to come in. Again, we get to watch the cars enter at this field as traffic moves starting in left field. They move across center and right, and then off to the side of the field where we park here in Hamburg. As Cano rips another one, this one into the bullpen. Chanhassen again warming up arms out there. Sure, Straka telling Arnold, I'm just going to give you what I can here. Try to get through this first game. And Straka will ice up. Watch the Birds in game 2 later as that 2-2 pitch is high. So count is full. Good at bat here from Cano. The veteran, former Austin Greyhound, coming over to Rochester this year. Full count pitch. Up the middle. Klepner dives and can't get to it. Cano not a great runner, so Klepner thinking maybe if he could have smothered that one, make a throw over to first, but it gets by him. And that will be ruled a hit. Hit number 10 on the day for Rochester. And now definitely a runner coming in as the Royals pull out all the stops here. They need to get something going in hopes of keeping their season alive.
Number 23 is Will White.
Will White comes in. For 23 to run for Cano. We would assume Cano will be reinserted in the lineup should he come up again. Matt, the DH in the lineup. And Sam Warren, the left fielder, comes up. Sam struck out his last 2 times up. Sam with that really nice game 1 at the dish. Still trying to figure out Straka. Takes ball 1. So yesterday's games here, actually the first 2 games rather, with not much drama Newmarket pounded their way to a victory over St. Michael. That was Friday night. And then yesterday in our first game, a 10-run victory for Meesville. So the top half of the bracket, 2 winners move on with relative ease. And then we had that barn burner between Champlin and Victoria yesterday. And now a tight game here, all the way to the bottom of the bracket in the final second round game here in the Class B bracket. Warren fouls that one away, so he's down to the count 1-2.
That's $1.
So 1 out, 1 on, 1-2 the count. Warren digging in against Straka. Time was called as Straka taking his time. John not liking the late timeout call there. He made Warren wait just a bit too long. Here we go, a little back and forth now. Straka trying to shake it off. Get a little fired up out there. Delivers, swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Straka. Warren strikes out for the 3rd time, and Jared Campbell will come up now with 2 outs.
Jared Campbell.
Again, 10 hits for Rochester. One of those a double from Campbell, way back in the 2nd inning. It's that one to the right side, so Straka ahead in the count right away. Mentioned last inning he surrendered 2 singles, but 3 strikeouts. So that's now 5 straight retired with strikeouts for Straka late in the game. Unbelievable. As Campbell swings through it, and it's 0-2. So Straka trying to strike out the side again, and he does. Swung on and missed. 6 straight strikeouts for Straka. Rochester has pieced together a few hits in between the Ks, but they're still held to 1 run. We head to the bottom of the frame. Chanhassen coming to the plate next on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Jeep Ram, we offer one of the best selections of new and used cars for sale in and around Carver County. Our Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer provides customers with the type of experience they want. One that's simple, fast, and easy. We offer a streamlined car buying experience complete with affordable and competitive pricing on Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, and Jeep leases. We strive to be your premier Jeep dealer and Dodge dealer in all of Minnesota. Interested in Ram trucks? Check out our extensive Ram truck inventory for sale. Glad to be a diamond sponsor for WCH 2021. Good luck to all teams. Defensive change for the Rochester Royals. Number 13, Nolan Jurgensen, now playing second base.
Our veteran pitching matchup continues as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Chanhassen, last chance perhaps to pad their lead. Going to be Brandon Arnold, player manager, leading off. Brandon with an RBI single, the go-ahead RBI single way back in the 2nd inning, and that is held to this point as he tries to bunt his way on against Matt Meyer. And right now there is action in the Rochester bullpen. I'm sure they're going to try to keep things limited here should Meyer get into some kind of jam. Mitch Brown warming up out there. Warmed up one time earlier. We had Meyer getting some medical attention. But he's quickly ahead 0-2 here on Brandon. Arnold golfs that one toward first, just foul. That was a drop the barrel and make contact kind of swing.
Also defensive change now playing left field. Nick Pearson moved from second base to left field.
So Nick Pearson, moves over to left field. Defensive changes here for Rochester, by the way. Nolan Jurgensen in second base. So tightening up the defense a bit here, Rochester is. 0-2 pitch. That's sky to the left side. Hollitz fighting the sun, drifting over into foul territory to make the catch. And this is a pitching matchup we expected. These guys are unbelievable. The way it works, ace against ace. Meyer has pitched well. Now it's Sturgella's turn. Sturgella with the loudest hit here today. Rocked one all the way to the base of the wall. That coming back in the first inning. So by my count here, by the way, so 6 hits on the day against Meyer, but he has not surrendered a hit since the 4th inning, according to my scorebook, as Sturgella hangs on the 0-2 count. In fact, the only base runner was a walk to Riley Johnson back in the 6th. That was the last base runner for Chan. Sturgella gets into that one, but way foul, so the count remains 0-2. So think about that for Meyer and holding down this lineup. But Chan hanging in there with that 2-1 lead. We can pause for Pearson to chase down that ball in left field. Hard hit to second. Jurgensen into the game, gets some action right away and makes a nice backhanded play. Ground out number 2. Zach Hoffman will come up.
Zach Hoffman.
So 2 outs now for Hoffman. RBI single for Zach in the first inning. Strike called on Zach, and he's going to pause, step out of the box here. Now Meyer, a quick worker. Working even quicker with the widening of the strike zone here. Sidearmer goes after him. Hit to center field. Mahalik sizes it up. Catches it. Meyer continues to be in control, but the Royals have a last gasp on offense. 3 outs perhaps left in the Royals season. We will come back for the top of the 9th here in Hamburg, live on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
B bracket. This game, as expected, a great one. 2-1 is our score. Rochester, 10 hits on the day, but just the 1 run to show for it. 8 singles, 2 doubles against John Straka, who was out for his 9th inning of work. The Bulldog bearing down here. We flip the scorebook. He has the last 6 outs via the strikeout. In fact, the last 7 of the last 8 outs for Rochester, strikeouts. And he goes strike 1 on Drew Block to lead things off in the top of the 9th. The Rochester first baseman, he does have 1 of 10 hits here today, a single, his last time up in the 7th inning. And he might have a shot here. That one drifting into left, it drops. Block will hold up at first, and they get their leadoff single. We'll have perhaps a pinch runner. We'll see if they decide to do that now. Block not the swiftest runner on the team. And he made it to second last time on the single by Pearson, and eventually there was a pinch runner. So we'll see if they go that route again, but it's Alex Prindle's turn. Alex also has 1 of the now 11 hits on the day. Now 9 singles for Rochester. They're going to try to bunt the runner over. Straka is not having any of that. He goes inside, low and tight, and it's ball 1. A little drama shaping up here. And once again, Chan's going to have to get that bullpen moving. Brandon Arnold, player manager, calling time from his shortstop position. Now chatting things over. I'd see what this is all about. So what I think what they want the umpires to discuss is whether or not Prindle offered at it. In that case, it would be a strike. Hall of Famer Terry Helgett, umpire out there. See if they keep it a ball. Yeah, they're going to say he didn't offer at it. He's telling Straka, and then now Terry's going to talk it over with Brandon. Here are the umps filling us in. So 1 ball, 1-0 count after all that. Runner on first, nobody out. See if Prindle tries it again. Trigella moving in from third, pulls back, takes strike 1 here. 1-1 the count. So they've had trouble getting bunts down here against Straka. And that looked like a pitch you could have probably dropped, but Prindle pulls back, so 1-1 the count. And now he does lay it down, and it's a good one. Straka only played a first, scoops it over just in time. Prindle was hustling down the line. But they get the sack bunt that they wanted. And Alex Hollitz will come up. Do we get a pinch runner? It looks like we will. And again, Hollitz has had a good game here. He did strike out his last time up. 7 out of the last 10 batters have struck out against Straka, so that's not a surprise. But before that, Hollitz with 2 singles. So again, 11 hits for Rochester, 9 singles. Hollitz with 2 of them. A big spot here. Runner on second is Block. There's 1 out. Pitch is low and inside. So Straka in another jam here. He's had the strikeout pitches working. In the later innings, needs a big one here. 1-0 count. Hollitz swung on and missed. One count. 1 out. Pitch from Straka. Gets a piece of it, but into the glove of Lavorsi, so 1-2 the count. One-two pitch now from Straka. So he checks on the runner, checks again. To the plate, it's high, 2-2. Nick Pearson on deck. Nick, by the way, has singles in even each of his last 2 plate appearances. Up and down the lineup, you're going to see singles in the box score for Rochester. As he swings and misses, another strikeout for Straka. Unbelievable.
Now batting, left fielder Nick Pearson.
7 strikeouts in the last 3 innings now for John. And it's down to their final out for the Royals, Nick Pearson. He steps out. He came up ready to go. But Straka trying to gather himself, take a deep breath, bear down for this, what he hopes is the final hitter. Pearson again is singled his last 2 times up. He watches strike 1 come across. Straka coming right after the hitter. 1-1 pitch. Pearson to short. Arnold goes down, comes up, throw to first, and Huffman digs it out. Chanhassen moves on once again to the Final Four. A 2-1 tight victory here for the Red Birds. Unbelievable. They just get it done in every way imaginable and not afraid to play in the tight contests. And Chanhassen will move on to play Champlin. Redbirds and Low Gators coming up later right here in Hamburg. Now on to the double elimination portion. What a way for Rochester season to end. The first ever matchup between these 2 clubs. And it was a beauty. 2-1 our final. Let's recap it here quickly. So from a scoring standpoint, all the scoring was done in the first 2 innings. Again, in the bottom of the first, Zach Huffman, RBI single. That inning featured a walk, an error, 2 hits. It was 1-0. After 1, right away, Rochester rallies. Jared Campbell's double. Then he scored on Alex Prindle's RBI single to tie things at 2. But right in the bottom half of the second, Chan comes right back again. Brandon Arnold, the player manager, coming up big. Clutch player like he is, RBI single. So it was 2-1 after 2. And we're thinking, you know, maybe these 2 veteran pitchers, maybe the lineups could chip away at these guys, but they buckle down, and Matt Meyer, the losing pitcher, goes 8 innings, all 8 innings for Rochester. Unbelievable performance from him. He is down front actually talking right now to player manager Brandon Arnold. So, Matt, congratulations. He pitches every inning for Rochester here in the state tournament as their season comes to an end, but outdueled, like many have, by John Straka. The Chanhassen ace goes all 9 for the complete game victory. And how important is that? Because Chan has to turn around and play another game later this afternoon. So they squeeze 9 out of the ace. And Straka, again, strikes out 7 batters in the last 3 innings. Unbelievable as he bears down, surrenders 11 hits to Rochester, the Royals, with 9 singles in the day, but could only push across that 1 run. So again, Chan moves on to take on the Champlin Low Gators. And as we say at the conclusion of all of our matchups, as we sign off, if you've subscribed for the day, you got a day pass. We'll see you here for our next matchup between Meesville and Newmarket. Should be another great ball game right here on PrepSpotlight.tv. If this is it for you, we thank you for checking in and joining us for Stay in Amateur Baseball live on PrepSpotlight.tv. For Brian Carlson on camera, I am Eric Murphy. We'll sign off and be right back up here in about 10 to 15 minutes for our second game of the day. Live State Am Baseball on PrepSpotlight.tv. We'll see you soon. Thanks.